No friggin' way. Holy shit. So let's get this straight, folks. The Bigscreen Beyond version 2 is much cheaper than the MEGANEX, okay? It has better optics, it has a better field of view. It's also a lot cooler looking. But the resolution is not anywhere near that of the MEGANEX in terms of visual fidelity. That's harsh, I know, but that's my opinion. The 4K BOE micro OLED panels of the MEGANEX are absolutely the best visuals I've ever seen. Whether the Bigscreen Beyond, they are really good, don't get me wrong. And I've always said the sharpness in this is enough for most people. But what if you had a 5090? And what if you tried super sampling it to the dizzying heights of the MEGANEX? Or even the Crystal Super? I'm going to try that today in this video. We are in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, not 24. We are at Donegal using Ultra VR settings, TAA mode, and we are using DirectX 11 as well. First of all, I'm just going to take a quick circuit to remind myself, okay, of the fact that this is not working. What's going on? Why can't I click anything? Is this a bug? I'm not quite sure what's going on here, folks, but never mind. To remind myself of the fact that this panel is actually very, very good. Right, I've got a bit of a problem here, folks. So I'll see you in a moment. This video is proudly sponsored by FS Academy, and they've got a new range of mission packs for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 called Interceptor. This all-new 30 mission training pack is designed to put your IFR skills to the test and includes a wide range of essential topics such as holding patterns, ILS, VOR and NDB approaches, VOR and NDB navigation, and these techniques you will learn will feel really rewarding and will stay with you forever. Take the first steps towards IFR today and embark upon an unforgettable and rewarding journey. Please check out FS Academy Interceptor in the notes below. Okay, we're back again. I encountered the same bug that I used to get in 2024 where I couldn't interact with the cockpit. What is going on? This is the latest sim update. Have we inherited some of the bugs of 2024? Oh, I hope not. Anyway, right. Let's just go for a quick circuit before the sim breaks. Full ultra settings, as I say, TAA mode, DirectX 11. We are pumping out 4,360 per eye. That's the native rendering target for the Bigscreen Beyond version 2. And that windsock is pointing the wrong way for the wind. Lots of bugs, it seems, still in 2020. So I've also got the frame counter there just to show you what we're getting in terms of performance, but bear in mind I am taxing the system here with complete ultra settings. I did expect a bit more than this though, if I'm honest. I expected to be at least into the 50s, but I am running obviously a very high resolution, no DLSS, but it's not like we're in a really taxing area. But anyway, so the clarity, I can read everything pretty decently in this headset, okay? At a normal distance, I can read all of the engine parameters here, the torque, the prop, the NG, the ITT, oil pressure, the inertial separators on. I'm looking at all this, by the way. I'm zooming in for you guys. Don't need to do that myself with this headset. And the optics, as I've always said with the Bigscreen Beyond, are superb. They really are right up there, without question, with the Quest 3 in terms of the lenses. I don't mean... Thank you. I don't mean in terms of visual fidelity. This is way, way better than the Quest 3, okay? Not even a comparison. I'm just talking about the lenses.
Donegal Tower Docker Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha frequency change.
Welcome to two-tone Murphy country. This is Ireland. And it's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, I can read everything fine. And to be honest, I don't really need to super sample it. But in comparison to the MEGANEX, this is lacking. Without a question, it definitely is lacking. Both in terms of colours, the vivid colours of the MEGANEX, in my opinion, just look so good. And I don't mean that in an unnatural way. I just mean in a very lifelike way. It's almost like the colours feel a little bit washed out in this headset, but I can change that in the OpenXR toolkit and add some settings here. So if I go to post-processing, I've just switched that on and added, I'll add the contrast to 45 and add saturation to 60, because the OpenXR toolkit still works, and that actually has made a difference. It does look much better now. It's not MEGANEX territory though, it's got to be said. So now I'm going to change the resolution from 4360 per eye to 5000 per eye, because that's what I generally run the MEGANEX at. In fact, the rendering target for the MEGANEX is even higher than that, but I find 5000 per eye is absolutely more than enough for it to really pop at you. So I'm intrigued to see what that feels like. Now, bear in mind, I am running at 75 Hz, so the target is lower to begin with. You know, I don't need to be running 45 frames per second. I can comfortably run, at the moment, 38, 39 frames per second, and it feels like 45 frames per second with a 90 Hz refresh rate. So that's actually quite a good little feature, I guess, of the Bigscreen Beyond. If you don't mind 75 Hz and the headset feels fine at 75 Hz, and I'm sensitive to low refresh rates and I don't mind it, then that's a very good feature because it feels very smooth. Anyway, I'm now going to change and super sample the headset. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Right then folks, welcome back. As you can hopefully see, if I just stabilise the headset so it's not moving too much, I've actually set it to 5136 per eye. And look at this, ultra settings as well in this sim. So let's see how we get on. Okie dokie, so we've obviously taken a bit of a hit with the frame rate. You know, we're at 30 frames per second now. I could easily though change the settings to get a decent 37.5, which is half of 75, if my maths are correct. In which case it would feel like 45 frames per second. So that is an added bonus. And yeah, there's absolutely no question that this looks way sharper. Wow, wow, wow. That actually looks really, really frigging good. That is now very similar to that of the MEGANEX. I must admit, I didn't expect that because super sampling doesn't always yield a really good result, you know? And I'll always maintain that super sampling is harder on your GPU than running a native resolution of your VR headset. You know, it's similar values, that is. But yeah, this just looks really, really sharp. If I'm feeling brave enough, I will show you some through lens footage now of the Bigscreen Beyond version 2 at 5136 per eye. But if you haven't seen it, I just feel that it hasn't been decent enough to show you. But this is an interesting test because it does mean that those of you out there with a very, very powerful GPU, and you're going to need it, folks, for anything above sort of 4,500 per eye, you've got to have a 5090, to be honest. I'm not quite sure what a 5080 would do, but yeah, there's no doubt about it. This does look incredibly sharp. So it stands to reason then, this sharpness, this could be an option for you, even down the road. That if you want the sharpness of the MEGANEX and the colours, well, messing around with the post-processing effects with the OpenXR toolkit, it gets fairly close, and then super sample the headset, and it does get very close to the MEGANEX at that point, but with a way better field of view and way better optics and very nice integrated audio, which you don't have to retrofit, and better software, better stability. Interesting. I might have to run this for a few weeks, guys, and see how I feel with this, because as you know, the MEGANEX is my kind of favourite of the flock of headsets I've been using recently. It's my daily driver, but I wonder what it'd be like using this for say 2 weeks solid, then going back to the MEGANEX. How would I feel about that? Because this definitely has made me think, this does look sharp, really, really sharp. I can read everything, no problems at all. Sorry, by the way, if you're seeing some lines, that's because I've got the OpenXR Toolkit foveated rendering on, and I have light shafts on. If I take that off, I'm going to get even less performance. Yeah, 28 frames per second now. But this is ultra settings, you know, so maybe if I just tweaked it a little bit, and I'm not running 2024, which has foveated rendering built in, which will definitely help. But I thought I'd just use 2020 for a change. And I must admit, I'm a little bit underwhelmed by the performance I'm getting here. I thought it'd be better. This is a 5090. I'm only getting 26 frames per second now. That's not good. So it's one of those things that, yes, you could do it. But here's another thing I want to mention actually quickly, which I've just realised. I'm getting less frames, or a bit less frames, doing this than I would be in the MEGANEX at native resolution at similar values. Like I said before, I do feel super sampling is harder on your GPU. Let me just mess around with the settings a minute. Let's see if I can sort of use my normal settings to see if we can get better performance. See in a moment. I would have thought by now 2020 would be solid. I've got a feeling some update, is it 16? It's made things worse. I've taken some things back already, but I'm just going to show you what I'm doing here. That actually should be on ultra because it's fine, but we'll leave that like that because I can't seem to click it anyway. Come on, what is going on? Right, ultra, ambient occlusion, that should be on medium. Windshield effects, I prefer that on ultra. Contact shadows, low, because it's very poorly optimized in 2020, so is all of this stuff here. Texture synthesis shouldn't be a problem with a 5090. Ray march reflections, take that off, that's awful, really badly optimized. Light shafts, I'm going to take that off because it's interfering with fixed foveated rendering. Take bloom off. I think that's pretty much what I usually run anyway. Look at that, look, 5136 per eye. We won't use DLSS 4. Let's just apply that and see if that makes any difference. Here we go. Right, that's made a massive difference actually. The flight sim looks as good, but now I'm hitting, pretty much anyway, I am recording as well, perfectly half of the refresh rate of this headset. So now it feels really smooth. So this conclusion is actually quite simple. I've worked it out, folks. If you've got a powerful GPU, I can't say, you know, what a 5080 will do, but in this case, a MSI 5090, if you've got one of them and a Bigscreen Beyond version 2 and you're thinking in the back of your mind, should I have got the MEGANEX? No, I think the Bigscreen Beyond version 2 is probably the better choice. If you don't mind 75 Hz, if you don't mind a bit more glare, because this does have a bit more glare than the MEGANEX, and it's not quite as bright. But apart from that, the actual sharpness of the headset and the colours which you can mess around with, this is as good of an experience now than the MEGANEX. It's very similar, on par with it, but you do have to super sample it to get it up to the dizzying heights of the MEGANEX. So that is an option for you, but you do need a powerful GPU. But this looks bloody brilliant, like really frigging good. Wow. I might actually run this for a couple of weeks and see how I feel about this. I think the only thing that I always notice with the Bigscreen Beyond is it doesn't look quite as bright and as, what's the word, just it doesn't hit you in the face like the MEGANEX. You're not going to be able to change that with super sampling, that's just the panel itself. But in terms of raw clarity, this is probably a better option for you, because with Bigscreen, well, they're more of a professional company, let's be honest. Their returns policy is better, you're going to get looked after more. I've just realised, by the way, my motion rig isn't working. I don't think I've got SimHub connected. So I've just been stationary the whole time. But I've only just noticed that. That's hilarious. That's because I've got force feedback and, you know, I've got a haptic seat and everything. Which is probably good, really, because I'm not going to have my motion rig soon. It's going to be packed away. So yeah, I hope that video has been of some help to you. Sorry it's taken me a while to get to it. But, you know, in conclusion, the Bigscreen Beyond version 2, at this kind of resolution, friggin' rocks. I could try it at crystal super resolution. Should I do that before we finish? I'm not sure what kind of frames we're going to get. That's 6,280 per eye. No, 6,280 by 6,240. I think it's something like that per eye. Should I do that? Shall I just try it for the laugh? Oh, you talked me into it, folks. Let's just do it now. If the video ends here, it's because the Sims crashed, alright? So I might see you in a minute. I'm crazy doing this. This is stupid. I'm just going to keep the camera rolling here. I don't know if you can hear me or not. I'm now changing the resolution to... Oh my god. I'm going to take a screenshot of this, I think, as well. Oh, this is... I feel bad doing this for my graphics card. That's about as close as I can get. 6,272 per eye. That's 310% super sampling. Oh god. Let's see what happens here. I must be mental doing this. Right, let's just see what happens here. Now, I know... No friggin' way. Holy shit. Excuse my French, folks. This has now blown me away. Because I can already see the FPS. Look at that crazy, insane resolution. 6,272 per eye, right? This is what I keep telling people about the 5090. This is where it becomes an absolute beast. This thing could pull the moon off its axis, I'm swear of it, because I should only be getting 10 frames per second right now. But I'm not. I've only lost about 6 frames per second, 7 frames per second, and I'm at 300% super sampling. Well, that's what it says in Steam VR. It probably isn't quite that in terms of percentages, but oh wow, yeah, no, now we're talking serious clarity. Now I can tell I really am pushing the pixels to the limit here. I can start to see that it's kind of over sharp. And it's a bit synthetically sharp, but it's not far off what you would expect to see from a Crystal Super at full native resolution at 50 ppd. All hail the 5090, folks. The 5090 is an insane card, it really is. And for those out there that can afford it, oh, yeah. If you've got a Bigscreen Beyond version 2, you should be getting a 5090. Because then you've almost got the clarity of the Crystal Super in a micro OLED VR headset with 108 degrees field of view, an amazing form factor. Yeah, this is now definitely MEGANEX super clarity with great and better field of view, better optics, cheaper headset, absolutely phenomenal. I am just going to be flying in this now for the rest of the morning. It's funny because at the time of this recording, the video will probably already be out. I am going to be testing the Crystal Super ultra wide optical engine. It's on its way right now, and Colin, my dog, is currently on Overwatch checking for the delivery driver. But I thought I'd do this video first, and this will probably be out after. But this really showcases what this headset can do. So if you are thinking of getting a Bigscreen Beyond version 2 or Crystal Super, I do have an affiliate link for those headsets and many others as well, and discount codes in the description below. That means you are supporting the future of this channel, because believe you me, my time is more precious now than ever before. And I don't know what the future holds for this channel, to be honest, so if you can help in any way, it really means a lot. But that'll do for this video. Look at that view over there, amazing. This does look really, really good. And I'm taking ages to say goodbye, simply because I'm just really enjoying the display in this. It's just insane. I think from now on, I'm gonna just super sample the heck out of this headset, because it really makes it shine. Thanks for watching, take care, I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye for now.